My name is George Njuguna. We have these mixes beginning this Friday, this February, all the way to the end of the year. There's no week you'll miss him. He'll always be here, and one day we'll have him in studio live so that he just does this thing for us live as we go on. And remember, in the next hour, if you have any music or comment, mostly music, you can just let me know on +254 753 903 373 +254 753 903 373. With me in studio, I have Teresa Njoroge, who started an organization. I'm trying to look for the name. I don't want you to come in here at this point. Clean Start Africa, that is the name. And she has many other organizations she's part of. She introduced herself, told us she's a banker. Then she got into a problem and started the process of her unveiling, getting herself out of it. But you haven't heard the story yet. We have just begun. Teresa.
Yes.
So for a year, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
you're now going through the process internally.
Yes.
Have you been fired at this point?
No.
You're still working?
I'm still working.
Okay.
And I never got fired
Okay.
until I actually got a better role, but with another bank.
Okay.
And
They never looked at your history?
the other bank,
Yes.
they did, of course, they had to get the reference, but they did understand that
There was no case
I
here.
was exactly.
Okay.
So, but the unfortunate part is that even though I got an even better role, and you can imagine at that time I'm saying, this is the God I talk about, even in the midst of, even in the midst of all chaos,
Yeah.
He'll pick you and even make it better for you. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So, while I got a better role, I always wondered, why was there no conclusion
Yeah.
for us to even see the outcome of the investigation report?
Yeah.
But I was like, let's just keep going. I mean, what do? You can't get stuck on the fact that you're not being given a conclusion on a matter. But it disturbs you subconsciously. And I was grateful for the new employer who had given me an opportunity, even while they knew what had transpired in my previous role. And I was giving it my best. But then one day, again, as I was executing my roles, and it was at the beginning of the year, January, beginning of the year. So you've set your New Year's resolutions, you've set your objectives, your goals, what you want to achieve that year. Around mid-morning, some people walk into the banking hall and they request that they want to see me. And, customers walk in.
Yeah.
So when I hear that it's me they're looking for, I attend to them and I tell them, allow me to finish with the clients that I'm currently attending to, and then I'll come and attend to you. But I was doing that to show them where to wait, so that they don't feel like that they've come and they've been unattended to.
Yeah.
But they told me, actually, we don't even want you to go and finalize with those clients. We need to attend to you right now. And I was like, what kind of a customer is this who's not even courteous to wait for me?
They didn't introduce themselves.
And I was like, no, that's not how it works. I have to first finalize with the ones who came earlier, and then I attend to you. They were like, no. we actually need to live with you because there is an interrogation we need to carry out. And I was like, what kind of an interrogation? And that's when they told me about them coming from Central Bank fraud unit, And they asked me, do you remember this transaction that happened at this and this time? I was like, yeah, I remember that transaction. And now I was like, is it that you want more information about the transaction, or have you finally concluded what happened? Exactly where do you want me? Is it more information you need, or is it the conclusion part of it? And they told me that we need to go with you to the central bank fraud unit because we need to interrogate you further. And at that point, I'm like, okay, you need more information. And they said, no, we are here to arrest you.
What? Okay, which year was this?
So this is now January 2009.
January 2009.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to hand over these people, the clients you had, to someone else?
How I wish. Because at that point, I'm like, you have the wrong person. You're coming to arrest the wrong... So what's going on in my mind at that point is, have you done your investigations well? And who are you? And how can you come to arrest me and I didn't steal the money? How can you get it so wrong? So during that commotion, I say to them, okay, let me pick my bag and then they start escorting me. And I'm like, I'm at my workplace. You can't keep following me. They're like, we are following you from now. Every move you make, we have to follow you. So that was the beginning of that rude awakening. It's not business as usual. So I said, let me call the driver. And they were like, no, we have our own vehicle. You will ride in our own vehicle. And indeed, escorting me. Oh, my goodness. So we got to their car, and I had to sit in the middle, and they had to sit around me. And I was so confused. Like, what's going on?
Let me ask you a question. Did you remember your father and you knew everything was well at that point? Did that thought come back?
Yes. Yes. Especially when I saw how adamant they were. I was like...
My father never told me this.
I thought to myself, these people have no idea who they're dealing with. At that point, they just think I'm just any other bank staff who they can just come and pick and terrorize. They have no idea. And after they had really terrorized me the entire day, because from mid-morning, they gave me the phone at around 5. And I was all tears and what happened and write the statement and all this kind of stuff. When they gave me the phone and told me make one call, the first person I called was my dad, because I was like, you people have no idea. So he just couldn't believe it, but he was calm, which helped me remain calm. And at that point, I was given the phone to tell him that I was being taken to the police station to be held till the following day when I'll be arraigned in court. So I was informing him. So immediately after that, it was very quick. Again, put in the Land Rover and now taken to Kileleshwa police station. That's where I was booked. And I was booked in there to spend the night. So by the time I was being booked and settling in, so my family came and a few of my colleagues to try and figure out how they could take me, and give whatever surety that I will be in court as needed. But they were told, that's not possible. There's no surety, there's nothing. I have to spend the night there. And then we meet at court. So I spent that entire night at Kileleshwa police station. And
did you eat maragwe?
I didn't even want to taste anything.
But you've not eaten anything throughout the whole day.
I couldn't even... and at that time you're thinking, I can hold on for a couple of hours and then get out of this mess once these people figure out that they really got the wrong person. So morning comes. I had that entire night I didn't sleep.
How can you even sleep?
Exactly. Like, what's going on? I remember I kept trying to come out of the cell to come talk to the police. You know, they lock you in the cell, and then the police are they're awake at the front desk. So I kept trying to get to the police at the front desk to talk with them, to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But, you know, I started to learn that once you're locked in there,
That's it.
until morning is when you will be released to come. You know, it was a tough night.
What was going through your head? I know it's a long time.
Yeah, but what was shocking me was the audacity
That they had. They looked like they had very good documentation to nail you.
And, you know, I knew there's nothing wrong I've done. But they're so confident with whatever it is that they're doing. I couldn't I just couldn't roll my mind around
what was going on. Did you get to your lawyer at that point?
At that point, I had no lawyer. So that's what I'm trying to do as I'm trying to reach out to these police people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So in the morning when these guys come now for me at 6 a.m. And they're preparing to arraign me in court. So they're taking my fingerprints. And I'm like, you can't do this. What do you have against me? And they're like, they're not even telling me what I'm being charged for. But this guy is asking me if I have 1 million Kenyan shillings. Cash. I'm like, from where? You picked me. How could I have come with 1 million shillings? Like, are you okay? And he's so busy just asking, do you have 1 million? Like, at that point, I'm feeling like telling him, can we first talk and you sober up because I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he's just busy processing me. Do you have 1 million shillings? Preparing paperwork. Oh my goodness. I was really flabbergasted by everything. And I told him I don't have that 1 million shillings. So when I told him I don't have that 1 million shillings, he asks me, do you know anyone who can get you that 1 million shillings right now? I'm like, cash. It's January. We've paid school fees. We've paid everything that we need to pay. We don't have that cash right now. So at that point, he told me, if you don't have this cash, then do you know Langata? Langata prison. I'm like, where is that? And why should I know the place? So he tells me, if you don't give me that 1 million, Bob, you will know where it is today. So for me, remember, I left work yesterday morning. I came to work. I've slept at a police cell. We're now in court. Like, nothing is making sense. Anyway, we arrive in court. Now, the shocking part is that when we arrive in court and things are moving so fast in the morning, I find all these journalists taking photos of me. I'm like, what is going on? As anywhere we pass, it's just the cameras. Then he shows me where to stand with people who have come from prison, guards, police. You know, it's what you see in the movies. And I'm like, what am I doing here? So names are being called out, and as names are being called out, people are standing, answering. I don't even know what to say.
I've been a friend of that court.
So you can imagine. Oh my goodness. So my name is called. I stand up. And this magistrate reads out charges one after the other. And I'm like, you better be kidding me. On this day, at this place, you stole 6 million shillings. I'm like, no, I'm feeling like shouting and screaming. On this day, at this place, you stole 3 million shillings. I'm like, where is it? How? Who saw me stealing it? Then,
This is just the beginning.
and at that time, I'm just thinking, I have to get myself out of this because I didn't. And I can't wait to now meet this officer to ask him, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Um,
He's the same prosecutor
no, he's now handed me over
to the prosecutor.
to the prosecution
Okay.
and the magistrate. So he's done his work. He's now done his
Or
work.
so he thinks.
Oh my God. And from that point on, I'm asked to pay bail. And shocking enough, it's 1 million Kenya shillings cash bail. Failure to which you will be remanded at Langata. And the mention will be whatever date he gave. I didn't even hear what date he gave. So after that is pronounced, I'm now taken to the cells at the courts. But now those cells are something else.
I know. I've been there.
Oh, we were hundreds of, like, it just, when I thought I was in hell at the police station cell, it just
You've now gone to level 2.
Oh my goodness.
I once had a broken screen. I didn't know at that point I needed to have what is it called? This police document.
Yeah.
So the police bumped into me, took me to police, rather prison, police station. Then we went to the police. We were 15 who were in the pickup. Along the way, 2 dropped, literally dropping. The car stops, you get out. Which shocked me.
I know.
Then we get into the police station. This is the interesting thing. When I was at the police station, I called a lawyer friend of mine, and she told me, yes, this is what you need to do. So when you go to the police, when you go to court, tell this to the magistrate. Look for 10,000 and be ready with that and pay it. So when I get into the court jail, a police boldly asks me, give me 10,000 shillings.
My goodness.
Give me 10,000 shillings. I just told him I don't have. Going there, we go into court. Do you know how many and how many of us ended there? We were like 5.
My goodness. Everyone
else got out of the way.
Yeah.
We got there to wake up to plead to your case. We were only 3. 2 didn't stand. And I particularly remember Mzee. He was a matatu driver. And he told me, this one I am not admitting to it.
Wow.
He said, I will not admit to it. And I'll just take the bill, but I'll come to court and finish this thing.
My goodness. He was willing to pay the price.
Yes. Which is what you did.
Exactly.
Yeah.